As a result of that, there's that drive to contain costs. Just like companies exported jobs to India, Vietnam, the Philippines, China to reduce the cost of operations. These industries that I've mentioned, a lot of them controlled by white men who are Republican, they want that cheap labor. But not just cheap labor. If you are an illegal immigrant who has no rights, and I choose to work you 16 hours a day, and I choose to violate all the OSHA regulations concerning your safety, and I don't give you any breaks, and you're here illegally, who the fuck are you gonna complain to? Who are you gonna call? Because the minute you make that call, the first question is, well, let's see your paperwork. Oh, my friend, you don't belong in this country. Let us take you out. The plane over there, you go bye-bye. Me, the business owner, fuck you. I get another illegal. So, from a financial perspective, that's who benefits. From a political perspective, now these dumb fuckers say, oh, they want to bring in all these illegals so the Democrats can expand their voter base. That's not how it works, idiot. Because first of all, they're going to come in here as an illegal. Maybe 2 years down the road, they'll be legal in some capacity. Another 2-3 years, they have a permanent residency card, they're permanent resident. Then probably another 5 years, they're a citizen. So the illegal that I bring in today will not be able to vote for me for 10 years. There's no logic there. What it's about is pulling in all the Latino voters into the Democratic fold. See, these Democrats want to do with Latinos what they did with black people. The Democrats initially were never about giving black people any rights. What's that fool, Alabama, stood in front of the high school or university? I forget his name, racist motherfucker. He was a Democrat. All the motherfuckers that were part of the KKK, that started the KKK, they were Democrats. People forget. These states that are now red, go back 30, 40 years, those states, well, now go back about 60 years to the 1960s, 50s. These states that are now red were all blue. Alabama, Mississippi, what else you got? Arkansas. All them white redneck states were all Democrats. The Democrats were the racist motherfuckers. But Kennedy got smart. And he said, you know what? If we throw these niggas a bone, we got them in our pocket forever. And guess what? Negroes are in the pockets of Democrats forever. You got a man that was vice president of the first black president for 2 terms. And this white man was against busing, was against desegregating schools. A white man. And he's now running for president as a Democrat. And all these Negroes stuck to him. It's the same strategy that the Democrats are pursuing with this illegal bullshit. Not to get these illegals to vote for them because that won't happen for at least 12, 15 years. But to pull all the Hispanics into their corner. See, what the Democrats realize is we don't have the white people. 70-80% of white men are Republican. 60-70% of white women are Republican. But the white race is the slowest growing demographic. So get all the black people, get all the Mexicans, get all the Asians. So as the white population shrinks, the other population rises. But there's a catch. You can have all these people, black, Asian, whatever, Mexican, whatever, Democrats. But the motherfuckers at top that are running shit, that are controlling shit, are white people. It's tempting. It's very tempting to look at it and say, this is a long-term play by white people. We'll have the white people party, so we keep the white people happy. That's a Republican Party. And there we know everything is controlled by white people. Then we'll have the other people party, but it's still controlled by white people. So no matter what happens, white people will always run the fucking agenda. You can have a black Democratic president, you can have a Mexican Democratic president. Guess what? They're not running shit. It's the white people on top of the Democratic Party that are running shit. In the long run, if I went to California, or if I met a white person from California, and they told me about these Mexicans this, these Mexicans that, these Mexicans that, I would not sit there for a second and consider that white person racist. Because until you've been there, until you've seen it, until you've lived amongst it, you don't know. These illegals are a significant drain on the economies of California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. They're a significant drain. The illegals don't pay income taxes. They don't pay Social Security taxes because they don't have Social Security numbers. And if they do, they got it through fraudulent means. The INS, ICE, whatever, had to change the design of the green card. It used to be you get a green card and you forget about it. Now people with green cards have to renew every 10 years. Why? Because these Mexicans came out here and they were counterfeiting green cards. The Mexicans that were working in ICE, they're giving green cards to Mexicans, to their fellow Mexicans illegally. See, the problem with Mexicans, the problem with Latinos is that they are racist as shit. And no one will tell you this. They are racist as shit. They're racist. They think they're better than white people. They think they're better than black people. They think they're better than Asian people. And I'm talking about a Latino that ain't got fucking shit. Is gonna look at a white man who is a doctor, lives in a $600,000 home, who has accomplished shit for himself. And this Latino mows that white man's lawn, and he's gonna look down on it. If I mowed the lawn of that white man, every day I come to that house to mow that lawn, I'd look at that house. I spent 10 minutes looking at that white man's house. And I'd say to myself, one day I'm gonna work hard and I'm gonna have a house like this. I will not sit there and spit on that white man. That's what they do. They go to California, to LA, and you walk down the street and you'll see one with a baby in the belly and three little kids standing right by them, one in the stroller. There's significant stress to the economies of these states and cities. They're extremely rude. You go into supermarkets, you go into grocery stores, you go into malls, and they'll just block the fucking aisle. Like they got no fucking sense. Every nation has a right to secure its borders. The Congress of the United States of America, in standing in the way of the President of the United States of America trying to secure the borders of the U.S., is failing in its job. Is failing in its job. Ms. Pelosi, Mr. Schumer, and the rest of you. Your responsibility is to the people of America, the citizens and the permanent residents. Those are the American people. That is who your responsibility is to. Your responsibility is not to some motherfucker trying to sneak across a border. I agree with Trump. We need to secure our border. I agree with Trump. We cannot allow all of these illegals coming into the nation, because we are doing what their nations should be doing. Instead of Mexico taking care of its poor, Mexico is sending its poor to us to take care of. And what are we getting back? Instead of Costa Rica, Guatemala, El Salvador taking care of their poor, they're sending their poor for us to take care of. We already have enough poor people in this country that we're not even taking care of. And these Congress people are fighting for them. Why are they not out there in Mississippi and Louisiana, in LA, in Atlanta, in New York, where they're poor Americans? Why are they not out there fighting for them? We need to wake up. We need to wake up. We've been fed a bag of lies. Now we need to take that bag and throw it back at the fools who fed it to us. The third thing I want to talk about I didn't really read the story. I just kind of saw it. Some people in California at a food festival get shot up. Some people in the church, black people, Bible study, let's pray to our God, hallelujah, get shot up. Some Jewish people going to a synagogue, Sabbath, pray to Yahweh, worship Yahweh, sing praises high unto Yahweh, get shot up. Some white boys at a big-ass country concert outdoors get shot up. See, I've killed people. I mean, what I can't say is I've killed people for the U.S. government. Aside from that, I beat the shit out of people. I won't lie. I ain't no goody two shoes pacifist motherfucker. I joined the Marine Corps because I wanted to go out there and fight wars. I wanted to get into it, into the thick of it, man. Have bullets flying at me and pop, pop, pop. I die, you die, nigga. One of us, not both of us. So I ain't no pacifist. But when the U.S. government sent me to kill people, it was specific people. Him. What they do, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's do it. When I beat the shit out of people, it was for a reason. I didn't just walk down the street and I see a motherfucker walking and say, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. Pop, 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 pop. For what? Or I'm gonna shoot him up. For what? Guns are not the problem. I can have 20 guns right here pointed at you. 20 loaded. And you'll live. And you'll live. I could take a crazy motherfucker, stand him right here in front of you with a knife. Fuck a gun. With a knife. And they'll stab you and you're dead. Guns are not the problem. They try and sit there and say, oh, well, it's a disturbed motherfucker. No. A child that is born and grows up is not a problem. A child that is born and raised by a sick society is a problem. It is time that Americans face the fact that our society is dysfunctional. I think it was Pablo Escobar who said, why are you mad at me? I'm producing the drugs. I'm shipping the drugs. I'm not consuming the fucking drugs. Why are you mad at me? If people are hungry and I farm food and I prep the food, put it in the marketplace so they could buy it and eat it, am I doing wrong? If the people eat too much and they get fat and they get overweight and they roll over and choke or have a heart attack, is it my fault? Like the cigarette companies were fined. I used to smoke. I quit smoking because smoking can cause lung cancer. So I quit smoking because I see motherfuckers that talk through their throat. So I quit smoking. But if I keep smoking, knowing that smoking can cause me lung cancer, then why are you suing the cigarette company? American society is dysfunctional. It's fucked up. We are deluded. We are out of touch with reality. I read about these kids in Canada on a killing spree. Killed 3 people they didn't even know. What did their dad say? Oh, they spent all day playing video games. What do most Americans do when they're not working? They're watching TV, they're playing video games, or they're on social media. How many Americans read a book that is not required of them? How many Americans go to a new place just to learn about it? Oh, let me go to Niagara Falls. I've always heard about it. Let me see what it's like. Oh, let me go to Denver, Colorado. Let me just learn about Denver, see what the people are like. How many Americans do that? How many Americans think outside the box, think for themselves, use their mind? We have become a society so out of touch with reality that we don't even know what's real anymore. All of the problems that we are facing as a society are symptoms of a cancer that is killing America. Symptoms. When you have drug use way up, I smoke some weed. I try not to smoke too much because it makes you lazy. And when you're lazy, you can't do shit. But I tried acid once, and I saw fish jump out the water and look at me and wave their fins and go back in the ocean. And I said, I will never try that shit again. I've never tried coke. I have cooked crack, but I've never used crack. I've never tried heroin because I don't like to fucking stick needles in my veins. And every time I see a heroin addict, they're taking a nap. So what kind of fucking drug is it that you take and you take a nap? For what? You got meth. You got the pills. You got these dumb niggas drinking codeine, drank, syrup, stupid shit niggas. Why you doing that? You got money. Why you fucking yourself up, nigga? America is fucked up. All this shit you see, all these shootings, it's not that they have mental problems, because that's another problem we have. The medical profession, specifically psychiatry, which is constantly inventing new mental diseases so the pharmaceutical can sell a new drug. If you're a parent and your child is diagnosed with ADHD, do not let them prescribe medicine for your child. That medicine will fuck your child up for life and will make them dumb as shit for the rest of their life. If you are a parent and you listen, if there's just one thing you listen that I say, if they tell you your child has ADHD, tell them, fuck you. Leave my child alone. And if they try to take your child from you, sue them. They want to turn your child into a fucking zombie. All this shit you see, and I'll close right here, is a symptom of a nation that is psychologically defunct. And instead of saying blah, 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 gun, blah, blah, we need to ask ourselves, what is wrong with us as a nation? And how do we fix it? Once again, thanks a lot for tuning in. The next video I'm going to talk about government, and it is back on, motherfucker. Thank you. Have a good night. Don't let the evil rabbit get to you.